Yeah, g'day. I thought I'd have a quick chat today here, and some of you that might want to delink your CBR 1100. I've got a Jaws delinking kit, so that makes the braking system independent. Today's video will be filmed on an iPhone SE and not edited. I'm limited of the technologies of my time. Now, it says in the kit to use a small tube to drain the brake fluid from the front and rear calipers before dismantling. I'll start with the rear. There doesn't seem to be a lot of information on it. You can see I've got the banjo bolts kicked up and I've used the original washers. I didn't like the copper look. There's a bit of residue there where I've cleaned that up. Yeah, so the lines are probably a little bit on the long side, but they work and they're decent. I've used all the original banjo bolts. It is a Jaws Delink kit. However, I did reuse some of the grommets from the factory retainers on the front brakes here on the swing arm. I've removed all of the existing hardware. The stuff underneath the fuel tank, I just removed the 2 bolts at the back and then lifted the tank up and put a rag on the airbox. I did end up cutting one of the hard lines to remove it. I don't intend on reinstating those. Down to the front, it's pretty basic. Again, I've used all the factory washers. Note the kick on the banjo bolt, and that does need a tidy up, but that's one of the factory brackets off the front brakes as well. I've done that on both sides. The brake lines are tidy. I guess I'll put a zip tie there, cable tie. Again, left hand side of the bike, there's the Jaws bracket. It's decent, it's a decent kit. Again, I've retained some of the factory hardware. Does need a tidy up. You know, it is nearly a 20-year-old bike, being a 2006. I've just drilled the center nipple. This doobie, just drilled him on both sides. Just as stated by Jaws, to vent the brake, works well. And again, that's the Jaws spacer. You could probably replace that with a bolt and tidy it up a little bit more. Let's give you a look at the master cylinder setup. Nice and easy, nice and tidy too. That's all the gear that's removed from the bike. And again, as I said, I did cut one of the hard lines. Just no point trying to save it. I didn't want to pull the whole bike apart to get it off, and it was quick and easy. So yeah, I didn't want the copper washers. I just didn't want it to stand out any more than it had to. Maybe the black brake kit might have been nice, but it was a little bit more expensive on old Felipe. Yeah, look, it's a decent system, and if you want to do mad rolling burnouts like me, that's what you've got to do. You could delink the bike in other ways, but this was just cheap, gives you braided lines. You'd be mad not to get it. So yeah, shout out to the Jaws crew. It's decent, I rate it. And look, you shouldn't modify these bikes too much. They're already awesome the way they are. Just a exhaust, power commander or something like that, whatever you can get your hands on. Doing this delinking, all that other nonsense of tidy tails and blacked out screens and that, like, you're just impressing the boys. No one really cares, you know. They're a great bike to ride. Leave them alone, enjoy them. They don't look like shit then with your terrible mods in 5 years' time. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and hope it helps someone. I didn't find what I needed online, but it all worked out, and I think most people can figure it out. But yeah, might just, you know, make it a bit easier. But yeah, thanks again. All right.